Howdy everyone, Warsarcy here, and today we're going to be looking at Meow motors on Nintendo Switch, also available on PS4 and Steam, with an Xbox One release coming very soon. Now I've been quite excited for a while to play this game, and have been very much looking forward to covering it on this channel, so has my hype paid off? Let's find out. Meow Motors is an indie kart racing game with cats. However, unlike Mario Kart and many other kart racers, this game has a story mode which is a strong focus. Yes, I know Team Sonic Racing has one too, and it's, well, it is what it is, but back to Meow Motors. We'll start with game modes, starting with the campaign. The story starts off with a comic book strip cutscene, and throughout it consists of new characters being introduced after each set of races is complete with a high enough star count. Throughout the campaign, the various race types are mixed up. You'll have standard races just completing laps, strike where you have to disable as many enemy cars as possible without being disabled yourself or you'll lose a point, and drift where you have to earn enough drift score before the time limit is reached and avoid mines in the road. At the end of each race, you'll earn a star based on your placing or your score, with up to 3 stars per race for finishing in first or meeting the goal. Each cup will have a set of rewards unlocked by earning a set amount of stars between the races in it. Outside of campaign, you have quick race. After selecting how many players, because you can have up to 2 on the Switch version and 4 on other versions, you'll choose between unlocked cars and characters, pick a track, add or remove specific power-ups, choose settings, and off you go. With game modes aside, let's talk about controls and other gameplay mechanics. Overall, the game handles surprisingly well. Honestly, I expected it to be on the rougher side, but it's actually quite smooth. Starting with the driving, the car handles excellently. You start the race revving your engine and try to keep it in the green for the best start, and avoid the red. The drifting is nice and smooth, easy to learn with you just having to straighten out to stop drifting, or continue turning rapidly to be able to drift around obstacles in the road. Speaking of which, you earn energy through drifting as well as hitting enemies with weapons, passing them, etc., which can in turn be used in 2 ways. You can either use it as a boost or to spill oil behind you, both of which can be used in as short or as long of bursts as you'd like, which I find to be very helpful rather than a single all-in-one go burst that is somewhat standard in kart racers with boosting. And another thing, the boosting in this game is one of the most, possibly the most satisfying boost I've experienced in a kart racing game. When you boost, you can really feel the speed gain compared to other games where it feels like you pour all your boost out and barely seem to gain any speed. Moving on to weapons, there's a good variety of them, with more being unlocked in the story mode as you progress. Weapons will damage your vehicle, and the more damage your vehicle is, the slower you'll drive, requiring you to pick up repair power-ups. Everything works pretty balanced. Only complaint I could really come up with is shark missiles, in which, except with a shield, you can't block them and you can't outrun them. You can go pretty fast and avoid them for a good amount of time, but they will not stop chasing until they have hit something. Not really a big deal, just a minor nitpick though, so other than that, it's a great time, and especially during strike races, really keeps the combat as a constant factor. Moving on to characters, there are 10 of them, each of which have their special traits in story mode. Personally, Lily has become my favorite, with her trait being oil used up more slowly, which I like using oil. I'll take this time to say now that there are also 10 cars, none of which have any different stats, just appearances, with changeable colors. Now as for tracks, in the beginning it felt like a lot of desert themed tracks, but as you progress, the diversity between tracks really grows. You'll race not only deserts, but beaches, wintry tracks, icy tracks, greenery tracks, spooky tracks, including a Halloween themed one, and more. So let's summarize. Personally, I just want to first say that I frickin' love the art, both in-game and 2D, of the cats, and overall everything. I mean, look at this, it's frickin' adorable. Every time I unlocked a new character, I always look forward to seeing their introduction and seeing what they look like. The game runs very well. I've had maybe one instance of frame drop that actually was noticeable, and it was very brief and didn't distract from the game. Otherwise, it's been smooth sailing. There's a good variety of tracks, and unlike a lot of non-Mario Kart kart racers, this one actually has ones not only fitting to the style of the game, but ones that I think could become memorable tracks. If you're playing solely on the Switch and don't want to fork out the whopping $60 for Mario Kart, then you might consider looking into Meow Motors as a cheaper alternative. The only disadvantage is a lack of online multiplayer, but If you're like me, that won't bother you, as I personally never cared for anything but local play and kart racers anyways, like with friends on a couch, etc. So with a price difference of $45, you're really getting a lot. And as a final statement, I'm gonna boast a kinda bold opinion and say that when compared to something substandard to Mario Kart like Team Sonic Racing, I think I've actually enjoyed Meow Motors more. Now before I end this video, I'm going to do something I don't usually do and plug the game's Twitter page. Reason for that is I've actually been following them for a while and they tweet some pretty cool stuff. Everything from clever cat memes meant to promote the game, to concept art, as well as game news announcements. You can really tell they put a lot of time and love into the game, so go ahead and check out @MeowMotors on Twitter, why don't you? The link will be in the description below. If you want the game yourself, it's available for $15 on the eShop, PSN Store, Steam, and soon on the Xbox Store. I'd like to thank ArtVostok for sending me the review key. This is WarStarcy in the Game Clips channel, and I'm out.